My name's Barbara Stanek. My relationship to Dave is a friend. We met him down here, and it was one of the greatest things we ever did to meet Dave and Dee.
Hi, I'm Monica. I was Dave's caregiver.
Hi, I'm Kelly. I am Dave's oldest daughter.
My name is Molly Klein, and my relationship to Dave Jonas is I am his daughter number 2, otherwise affectionately by my dad known as Molly, Molly, Molly.
Hello, I'm Annie Lindy Kugel, and I'm number 3 of Dave's 5 children.
Hi, I'm KT Anderson, and I am daughter number 4.
Hey, I'm Matt. I'm the 5th child, but everybody knows me better as the number 1 son.
Hello, I'm Dee. I'm Dave's wife and bride of 53 years.
I'm an occupational therapist, and I've seen a lot of Parkinson's patients over the years and helped a lot of Parkinson's patients go through the process of rehabilitation. And it's really different when it's your own dad who's going through that process.
Man, I really didn't know much about Parkinson's before my dad got it.
Quite honestly, I didn't really know that much about it.
Really, before Dave was diagnosed, I really didn't think about it much.
I think probably my only exposure was The Nutty Professor, where he's sitting at dinner and he got a spoonful of peas and is trying to eat the peas and they keep falling off everywhere.
I knew about it with Michael J. Fox, but I think he was one of the only people, Muhammad Ali and Michael J. Fox, that I knew that had the disease.
So it was kind of an eye-opening thing. Never really thought about it.
Once in a while, I would see someone who was shaking and either a tremor in the hand or the head, and wondered what that was.
And what I didn't realize was how much it affects people physically, yes, with the shaking and the shuffling, but how much it affects people cognitively.
It really took him having the disease and seeing the full effects of the disease progress that I've come to understand what Parkinson's is all about, and I could now definitely pick somebody out of a crowd who has Parkinson's. One of my earliest memories of my dad having symptoms of Parkinson's has to do with the time when I heard about him falling asleep at work on the toilet.
He was tired. He would come home from work during the day and he would need to lay down and take a nap. He had a slight bit of a tremor.
One time in specific when we were unscrewing the plates over electrical outlets, and he was using a screwdriver, a flathead, and his hand just started kind of shaking and he couldn't quite get it to calm, and so he would talk to it and hold it with the other hand to try and get it to calm.
And so we went to the doctor just to see if they could help us, and they put him on carbidopa to see if he would respond. And when he didn't at first, we thought, well, it's just probably an essential tremor rather than Parkinson's. But then we took a trip with our fraternity brothers, and Dave was unusually quiet, and that wasn't Dave. So then we began to say, well, what's wrong? Something is different. It almost seemed like he might have been in a bit of depression. But later we grew to understand what it really was.
When Ryan and I first started dating, one of the first Thanksgivings we spent together, it was a really pivotal moment because as Dad was going to cut the Thanksgiving turkey, he said to Ryan, hey buddy, can you come over here? I got a job for you. And he handed the carving knife and utensils to Ryan, and he said, I need some help. And I just looked at Ryan, and Ryan looked at me, and afterwards we talked about what a pivotal moment that was for Dad to hand that over?
I remember a time when we'd all been out sledding out at a friend's house, and we were all, everybody was there. We had all of us kids, and we had the grandkids, and it was a lot of fun. But when it came time to go, my dad really wanted to drive home, and it was at a point in time where there'd been a couple issues, and there was concern, I think, about him driving with so many young children in the car, and as a family, we kind of had to put our foot down and say, no, we're not going to drive, or you're not going to drive today. And that was really hard. It was really hard for my dad. It was really hard on all of us to do that.
What I witnessed in my dad was that it's like his voice just kept withdrawing deeper and deeper and deeper within, and it would take more and more perseverance to get that voice back out there, to get his body moving so that he could keep showing up.
So what got Dad through the last 15 to 17 years?
First of all, was his faith. He had a very strong faith, and that supported him through a lot of his journey.
His faith was a source of strength for him.
Especially the way that he and my mom shared their faith together.
He had a sense of humor, and he helped. We laughed a lot. We laughed because, you either laugh or you cry. So we chose to laugh and get through some of our pretty funny situations.
But my mom definitely was his right-hand woman, and without her, I don't think he would have had the will to fight as hard as he did.
Mom got him through. Mom got us all through.
I believe that all of Dave's friends and family helped him enormously.
His friends. He was surrounded by friends, and that support meant all the world to both he and I.
Everywhere that we've ever lived or moved, that was always such an important piece, was the community of people that they surrounded themselves with.
He wanted to be involved in our family life, and he wanted to be as active as he could be, and he never wanted to miss a gathering or a party. And his family and his friends were his motivators.
He had a safe place to be who he was on an ongoing basis, to dress himself and wear his clothes backwards if that's what it was that day, or have food on his face, and it was okay if someone would come up and wipe it.
He had a lot of support from people who actually loved him, as I do.
And for us not living in the villages, it was so comforting to know that they were surrounded by so many people that loved them and would care for them and would drop anything to go and do what needed to be done.
And I believe Dave was humble. He had a wonderful sense of humility, in that it takes a lot to let other people into your life and help you when you're most vulnerable.
I think with him just not giving up and pushing and pushing and pushing is the way to go when it comes to Parkinson's, and that was Dave. Just do not give up.
Dave, I was always enamored that he was strong, like he was.
Man, did he persevere, and he had life after life after life. I mean, he should have probably gone long before, but he kept going.
So he definitely handled this disease so beautifully, and I think taught us all that, when you face those challenges in life, don't let those sons of bitches get you down.
So Dave's journey with Parkinson taught me a lot.
We just learned so very much about the power of perseverance, the power of saying yes, even when your body wants to say no.
He's taught me to listen more, laugh more, spend more time with my children.
Dave's journey has helped me become much more appreciative of my own health.
When I'm out and about now and I see somebody walking into a building who has a tremor or a shuffle, or, a shaking in the hand, my heart just goes out to them and I feel like it's Dad right there.
And many times when I could see that it was difficult for him to stand up on his own and to do things on his own, when I could do those things on my own, I am grateful and much more appreciative.
But I have a whole new appreciation for caregivers and what it means to give of yourself like that.
Because I just know how much it affects, both that person as well as the people that are all around them.
I got to photograph for the International Parkinson's Congress, and it was 30 individuals who had Parkinson's, and each one of them, in an amazing way, was grateful for their experience with Parkinson's, which that blew me away. And I would say my dad also always talked about what Parkinson's taught him, and it taught him, to be a better listener.
It was a kind of teacher. And I think all diseases and ailments and hardships are just such valuable teachers for how we can show up.
He never stopped sharing that, and he never stopped reflecting on that peace that Parkinson's gave him. And I just always thought that was such an incredible way to look at things, to be grateful for Parkinson's and what it taught him.
I feel like my dad was blessed in many ways, knowing that he did have limited time here on earth, and it was just something that he recognized each and every day, and I think it gave him the ability to be more intentional about how he lived his life, and how he spent his time and his resources.
He and my mom both, I do not make light of their journey, but they did it with grace and compassion and love and commitment and laughter. And I'm so grateful that they taught us how to face challenges that way, because it's stuck with all of us.
My dad taught me so much throughout my life, but I think I learned almost even more in the way that he lived his final years, and I am very blessed to have had him as my dad, and also just everything that he taught me.
My final thoughts are, first, I would like to address caregivers. The role of caregiver is not always easy, as you well know. But it's an important role, and I just respect all that goes into that role. And none of us do caregiving perfectly. We make our mistakes. We have our failures. We get tired. It's okay. So just be self-forgiving in the areas that you feel that you wished you had done it better. You did it as well as you could, and accept that fact. The other thing is that we did not get through 15 years of Parkinson's on our own. Our journey included many of you, our friends and family, that supported us every step of the way, and even people that we didn't know. Today, as we appeal to you for continuing to raise the awareness of Parkinson's and trying to find a cure, we thank you for joining us in this effort, so that someday we can eradicate this disease and others won't have to go through some of what we've gone through. Thank you.
Okay, we love you. Have a great day.
Love you. Hope you have a great day. Happy St. Patty's Day to all of you. And we can sing a little ditty on the way out.
What are you saying?
So what are we going to sing?
Oh, Danny boy,
The pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the leaves are turning. It's you must go and I must die. Oh, call me back to summers and the meadows. Na 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 na.
This is gonna get too long. Oh, Danny boy,
oh Danny boy, we love you all.
Love you guys.